Welcome to the Abiding CEO, the podcast for Christian business owners who want to grow spiritually and in business. I'm your host, Dr. Betsy Join, therapist, speaker, and fellow business owner. I know what it's like to feel stressed, burnt out, and overwhelmed, which is why I created this audio oasis for us, a space for healthy attachments, kingdom identity, and business growth that flows from peace and not pressure. Here, theology, psychology, and business intersect to bring practical tools and spirit-led insight. I'm here to pass the heart of entrepreneurs who want to stop striving and start abiding. So take a deep breath, let it go, and get ready to grow. Hi, everyone. Welcome back. I'm here today with another special guest. I have Miss Theresa Thomas, LPC, and she's going to share a little bit about her journey and the book that she wrote. Theresa, I'm going to let you expand a little bit on who you are and what your book is about.
Oh, okie dokie. Well, thank you so much for having me on your podcast. I really, really appreciate it. But I did write a book on my journey through postpartum depression and anxiety. This was with my second child. I was pregnant with her, and this was 19 years ago. God laid this on my heart about 19 years ago, gave me the title and everything. And I kept putting it off, but now I just finally did it. Last year, I started writing seriously, and now I'm a published author for Set Free to Live.
Okay, awesome, awesome. What I love about your story and the reason why I do believe it's relevant for entrepreneurs is because a lot of us, we have a vision and we feel called to run this business, to execute this thing. And for you, a lot of your calling, just because I know a little bit about you, has
Mhm.
been writing this book and being a Christian therapist. So,
Yeah.
can you tell us a little bit more about that journey?
About the journey of writing the book and the being a therapist. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Actually, I have the last chapter of my book talks about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I like I said, God did place it on my heart. I'm not a writer. I kept saying I'm not a writer, I'm not a writer. I kept saying that, and I think that was the reason why I never wrote it. But then a friend of mine wrote a book, and she told me about somebody that was her book coach. So I got a book coach, and she helped me through the whole process. If I didn't have her, I don't think I would have been able to do this. But my journey, though, becoming the writer was through that. And then with therapy, in my book, I talk about being in a psychiatric hospital. I did go to a psychiatric hospital where I met quite a few people, and I was in there like ministering to them, like doing therapy and stuff. And I was like, what is this all about? And so fast forward 5 years later, after I was went through that journey, I was on a fast at our church, and I just felt the Lord tell me that I want you to help my people get out of darkness. And I was like, I didn't know what that meant. And so when I started praying about it, I had another friend of mine came to me and said, "Oh, I'm at Liberty and I'm getting my master's in counseling." And I was like, "Huh." So I did. I checked into it, called them, and come to find out I'm a veteran. And so come to find out I had qualified for the post 9/11 GI Bill. I never even heard of that. And because I was in during 9/11, I qualified. So my master's degree was debt free. I don't have no student loans.
Wow.
I've always wanted to be a Christian counselor. I did start off in a psychiatric hospital, which is ironic because I was a patient at one, and then I ended up working at one.
Hmm.
But I don't know. God still led me to do Christian counseling, and behold, I was helping a patient at the hospital find a place for therapy, and I came across Abundant Life and in Winder, and I was like, I ain't never heard of this place, and it was Christian counseling. And when I called, they didn't take Blue Cross Blue Shield. And so I was like, oh, okay. But then it just tugged on me. It wouldn't leave my mind. So I started doing research on that. And I saw that y'all were hiring. So I applied. And lo and behold, I was hired. And so, and just to let you know too, in my Bible, I had wrote, and I have this in my book, but I had wrote like the three things that I was believing for God for. And one was to get my master's, the other one was to get my LPC, and the third one was to become a Christian counselor. And God fulfilled all three.
Yeah, praise God, because we get to benefit from that.
Yes.
But just kind of rephrasing what you shared. So, like, there's this vision. God gave
Hmm.
it to you. At the time, you didn't know how it was all going to work out.
Oh no.
Okay.
Uh-uh.
Then he used your testimony to fuel a passion, a desire, we can say, that he had put in your heart that you just didn't know was there.
Right.
And as you continued healing and growing both personally and professionally, here you are, fast forward years later, a fully
Hmm.
licensed clinician, and I'm going to go ahead and add a clinical supervisor,
Yes.
a strong clinician,
Uh-huh.
author, a speaker, and who knows what else he has
Oh,
in
I
store.
know. Yes.
What about that step of obedience? What helped
Mhm.
you actually follow through with that?
Well, just watching other people, like people that actually have like stepped out and on faith and with the obedience, because I stepped out on faith to get my to go back to school because
Hmm.
I graduated in 1990 from my undergrad and I was 40, I think, in my 40s and with a toddler to go back to school.
Hmm.
But just, I mean, watching other people, I mean, I even when I came to the abundant life, I watched you and your husband build this private practice from like, I mean, I just to start off at one place and then going to another place. And I watched y'all. I did. I watched y'all grow, and I'm like, wow, And then I watched, like I said, my friend that wrote a book, and I watched how she has a practice too, and how she's grown, and she's like so important now and stuff. And I'm like, if they can do this, I can do this. So I'm like, okay, God, and these are, God, what I love about it is that you're filled with the Lord and she is too, a Christian. And I was like, if God did it for them, he'll do it for me. And so I just
Amen.
said, okay, I'm going to be obedient and just write and just write. And I mean, I felt like I had no choice but to go in and do it because at the time I was writing, I was going through a lot of health issues. And it was like, God had to sit me still so I could be still and take that time without any distractions and just write.
Good. Even the writing process sounds like it was therapeutic and the making
Oh,
you
yeah.
sit still and recall some of these things. That
Oh,
I
yeah.
know we kind of glossed over it, but postpartum is very common. I wouldn't say mainstream. And some people it's just the baby blues, but there is that
Right.
season. And then some of the entrepreneurs who listen to this podcast, they're women too, and they've had to battle this.
Hmm.
Just so that we don't leave people hanging, or some who may still be dealing with postpartum. What would you say are like some of the symptoms and some of the things you can do to recover?
Oh, okay. Well, and there are like some that go through baby blues, and then some go through like your postpartum depression that's not as bad, but then they some go through postpartum psychosis. Mine was postpartum psychosis. And I really didn't even know that until late, maybe a few years ago, that it was actually psychosis because of some of the signs I had. But a lot of it is when you feel you disconnect from your baby if when especially like when they're born, sometimes people don't go through it right away. I didn't notice I had it until about a month after I had my baby. But that disconnection, you feel like you don't even love your baby. You don't feel like you can even handle, and then you don't feel like doing anything. You're irritated, you're frustrated by everything. You just feel like you're just numb, like you're just in a dark place. And when you're all of a sudden not doing or the things you normally do or not happy about the baby being there, then that's a clear sign that something's not right.
Well, thanks for highlighting those symptoms in case anyone's been through it, going through it, or questioning.
Hmm.
So then what would be tools to help in recovery?
Well, pretty much I had to go on medication. So I was against medication at the beginning,
Mhm.
because, I'm a Christian, God's going to heal me, I'm going to get through this and stuff.
Yeah.
But that was not it. I had to go on medication. So definitely medication will help. I went through therapy, having a support system, someone to talk to. Because this is when women go through postpartum, even like myself, and I know other women, it's almost like you're all alone. Like it's like you're looking at outside, and trying to find someone to talk to or help or understand it, but you can't find nobody because nobody understands what you're going through. And it's almost like you're through it quietly. And so that's why I really wrote the book, because I want to make awareness that a lot of women do go through this alone because nobody understands. They don't understand like why we can't connect with our baby, why we don't want to, get up and take a shower. They don't understand that. And so they look at us like, okay, what's wrong with you? Snap out of it. But it was times when I was like, gosh, I just wish I could just talk to somebody that went through the same thing and that could understand me. I felt alone.
Good, thank you. And it sounds like the big thing you're highlighting is just that importance of the support system.
Oh, yes,
Somebody to
that
come.
is so important to have a support system because I mean the way I was being in psychosis, I mean, I was like psychotic. I was thinking people were like after me, or I couldn't sleep. I felt like I was hearing voices like the devil was telling me, you're no good, you're not a Christian. And I was thinking to myself, if I tell anybody this stuff, they're gonna think I'm crazy. And I was like, I was afraid to say anything to anybody, so I suffered in silence for a while.
Wow. Thank you so much for sharing that because sometimes exposing the lie is what brings healing. So the fact that you
Hmm.
can come on here and just share how dark it really got
Oh,
only
yeah.
shows the level of light and healing
Hmm.
that God has brought to you, that you're able to tell the story.
Oh,
So
yes.
thank you for that transparency. The other thing that you brought up briefly was the medication.
Hmm.
And sometimes in the Christian community, it's controversial because there's the idea of just, lay it on the table, pray it away. And you know what? Sometimes that does work, right?
Right,
And many times you don't. It's not a sign of weakness
right,
because it's the same thing as any other medication, right? If
right.
you had asthma, would I tell you not to have enough faith? Don't take your pump, right? If you had
Right.
diabetes, would I tell you not to take your insulin?
Right.
That you just need to have more faith. Now, sometimes there are things we can do in the natural. And I want to say you've shared, and maybe you wouldn't share on the podcast, or maybe it was off the air. Just the being mindful, the taking breaks, the self-care, the journaling.
Mhm.
Um,
Yes.
you're really good about that. You have your rhythm.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yes, I do. I do. I think the journaling really, really helped. Because I don't even know, I wouldn't even had information to write this book because, like I said, it was 19 years. So I
Hmm.
journaled a lot. So was able to pull out all my journals and put together a lot of things that was important. And the good thing about journaling, when I went through the therapist I went through, she had told me to journal. But it's really good when you write down stuff that you're going through, and then when you go back and look back, and
Hmm.
you can see how far you've gotten. And that's
Hmm.
how I knew that God was carrying me through this the whole time.
Hmm.
He never left me. And I always thought, oh gosh, where are you? Where are you, God? But
Hmm.
each time as I started getting better and stronger, and every time I came out stronger. So I know God carries you through it. You have to go through it though. So,
Oh, yeah, gotta go through it, can't go around it.
right.
And now you also learned how to run a business for yourself because there's the
Yeah.
business side to running a book,
Oh,
right?
yes.
Is
Yes.
right? The time, the editing, you had a book
Uh,
signing.
the marketing.
Oh, yes, yes. What
Yeah.
else? Tell me more about the business side of writing a book.
That to me was the hardest part. Even though my undergrad is a marketing degree, but that was back in 1990. So now I'm a therapist, I'm a counselor. I don't do marketing. So that was tough. But my book coach, she's a writer. She wrote a bunch of children's books. That's what she writes.
Hmm.
She had to push me out there to like, she gave me so many ideas to the point where I would have never thought of these ideas. So, the videos, I was so scared at first. And she was like, you got to do some videos. You got to do it. It took me months to actually, she had been telling me for months to do videos. And I finally did. I had to have my daughters help me. But as I started doing it, I got better.
Hmm.
Now I'm trying to, try to find more book signings. I'm part of book clubs, Georgia Writers, Postpartum Support International, being a part of a lot of organizations that support postpartum. So getting that connection helps a lot too. So yeah, that was the hard part, but you have to be proactive. You can't procrastinate. And I'm trying to do other, podcasts. This is the second podcast. I'm looking to even try to, maybe be on somebody's talk show. That's what my
Oh.
vision, like your husband said, write the vision down. I wrote it down. So yeah, but I want to even reach more churches to make awareness of postpartum depression because like I said it's a hidden thing among women because they don't want to say anything because they're afraid, and especially women in the church don't want to say
Mm.
anything because they're afraid that people are going to be like, okay, she's not, something's wrong, what did she do, why is she going through this? It's
Mhm.
not made aware in the church as much. So I definitely want to reach a lot of Christians.
Thank you. And hopefully this blesses somebody. I don't know. I get the impression that there's somebody out there who
Mhm.
had to overcome, or
Oh,
maybe still hasn't,
right.
and doesn't realize that that's what they're experiencing. And
Yeah.
it's sabotaging their joy, their present, their
Oh, yes.
yes, their
Yeah.
relationship with God, their relationship with their baby, their business. It's
Yeah. I know there are, because like I said, it's silent. I'm a part of a lot of Facebook pages too that deal with postpartum, and some of the things that women put out there. They're like, oh, what do I do? I need help. I need help. And and I think about it. I'm like, I was one of those women. I was so desperate. I was so desperate that I was calling people, just strangers that might be able to help. They didn't have internet when went through it. So it was kind of hard to connect. Now they have so much now to connect. So it's very helpful.
well, Teresa, I really appreciate you sharing all of that and being candid about the behind the scenes, your personal story. And it took you 19 years, but you did it. So
Right.
2025 was an amazing year for you.
Uh-huh.
So I kind of want to engage you and walk you through the reflective exercise that I shared with people last week.
Hmm.
Um, and I'll just share it and then you can fill in the blank.
Oh, okay.
So 2025 was blank for me.
It was some ups and there were some downs for me.
Okay. And
Yeah,
from that, I learned.
I've learned to persevere, to really push through it, come out of my comfort zone. And actually, the biggest thing I've learned is to be patient.
Mm.
Just be patient. Even with the business side of this, I had to be patient.
Oh, okay. Real quick time out. What do you have to be patient about?
Well, because when the book launched or when I started doing the pre-orders, sometimes you don't get the audience or you don't get the support right away. And
Mm-hmm.
it's like, oh man, did I write this book for nothing and blah, blah, this. And so I had to go to God and be like, God, what is going on? You have me write this book and now nobody's, I don't hear. But I had to be patient, time, after time. And then especially when I launched it, that was when a lot of people were like buying it and buying it. When I had the book signing, people started, recognizing it. And God told me too, there are going to be moments where you might have a little slow month, but then it'll pick back up. You might have, I plan on 2026, I plan on going to some conferences like the Postpartum International Conference to set up a table, hitting some of the women's conferences to set up table, doing book festivals. So I'm learning that where places I could go. So God was like, don't count this out just yet. So I was like, so he did. He told me to be patient because I was getting anxious, but now I've learned to just be patient. It just whatever comes, it comes.
Yes. I've come to love the word steady, right?
Oh
Steady
yeah.
is good. I can handle
Uh-huh.
steady. Sometimes we want the spike, but with the
Right.
spike comes headaches too. As long
Oh,
as we don't have a dip, let's just steady increase is good.
Eddie. Okay, that's good.
Okay, okay. So we left off. Okay, 2025 was up and down for you. From that, you learned patient. And I think you already shared, but I'll go ahead and ask you the next line, which is as 2026 begins, my intent is to blank.
Oh, kind of like what I said, really to get out there and do more book signings, book festivals, book conferences. I mean, yeah, maybe book conferences, but conferences to attend conferences. Now that I have this LLC, I'm gonna be doing
Yes.
some things to promote the book and just I mean make more awareness. I plan on possibly doing more videos to come.
Mhm.
But yeah, I'm learning a lot. And I mean, my book coach, yeah, she is giving me so many tips.
Mhm.
So yeah, she even had some custom made earrings made for me of my book. And so, yeah,
Oh,
yeah, she's supposed to give it to me. She's on a cruise now, but she said she'll give it to me when I come back, when she comes back. But I can wear them and it's like advertisement for my book. I was like, who would have thought of that? So,
that's pretty
so
cool.
yeah, so I need to, yeah. So I mean, even though we are done with the book, she still helps me and gives me pointers. So that's what I liked about her.
Okay. Well, again, you answered the last line, which is, and in order to do that, I will blank.
Oh yeah.
Like you're gonna be busy and you're gonna do some traveling in 2026.
Oh yes. Yeah, I will. I just doing a lot of I plan on my daughter's in the process of designing me some business cards. That's another thing my coach was saying, get some cards made. So, because I've had people like somebody will say the other day, somebody was telling a lady, oh, she wrote a book and this and that. And she was, I didn't have nothing to give. I
Mhm.
said, well, it's on Amazon. It's here. But she was like, that way you can just hand them a card and you'll have the QR code on there.
Okay,
Yeah.
awesome. All righty. Well, Teresa, thank you so much for coming on the show and sharing your personal experience 19 years ago, where you are today, and just testifying to the power of God. And if anyone wants to grab her book, it's available on Amazon, Set Free to Live. And I'm also going to include her website in the show notes. So, Theresa Thomas, thank you. You are a wonderful clinician, a joy to be around, and a role model to me.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that means a lot to tell you the
Okay.
truth. I mean, you're my role model to tell you the truth. You are.
Well,
Yeah.
you know what? We all have strengths and weaknesses, and I will point out a strength that I see in you. I
Hmm.
see how protective you are about your lunchtime.
Oh, yes.
And but that is so crucial.
Yes.
Enjoying your meal, you do your devotional, you like to drive over to a local park that we have and look at the lake. Like
Yes. Uh-huh.
you make sure that you're taking care of yourself so that you can be present for others.
Oh, yes. That is true. Yeah, self-care. That's one of the good.
But
Definitely have to do self-care.
but you actually preach what you practice what you preach.
Preach. Yes.
And
Yes.
I definitely love and respect that about you.
Oh,
So,
wow. But
okay.
thank you so much.
All righty.
I
Well, thank you.
appreciate you inviting me on. I really loved it.
Thanks for being here. All right, guys. I'll see you next time. Thanks for tuning in to The Abiding CEO. I hope today's conversation helped you find the clarity and peace you need to make money God's way. If this episode spoke to you, share it with another Christian business owner who's ready to trust God and release the hustle. Until next time, remember, stay secure in Christ and steady in business.